got another one of these spicy rum hot chocolates with the butterscotch and the cinnamon. Good shit. Anyway, as you can tell, it's the second half of day 4. We are, the ship is currently positioning to dock in Juneau, Alaska. Juneau is the capital of Alaska, and it's just turned noon here in Juneau time. I see there were already a couple ships in port. There was an older princess ship that kind of, if you saw my, I don't know if I did a vlog for the Caribbean Princess, but I was on that boat. There was one that looked, there's a boat that looked just like it here. And I didn't get a good view of the other boat, but yeah, we're gonna be here till 8:30 p.m. today, and the naturalist guy who was narrating the earlier, what do you call that? The Endicott Arm Fjord transit or whatnot. He was saying the best thing to do now is to get out there and try to get to that glacier. I believe it's called the Dawes Glacier, or maybe that was the other one. This one's the Menda or something glacier, whatever. But said it's about like it's like 10-15 miles from here. You can take an Uber or Lyft. You can charter through one of those guys at the port, or you could go. I mean, the safest bet, honestly, is to go through the cruise ship, but so it's the most expensive. So whatever. If you got that loot, probably the cheapest way to do it. But yeah, and they said after that you come back to town here in Juneau and get on the there's a tram that's not too far away from the port here. You get up to go on the tram, takes you to the top of one of these peaks. You can take some amazing photos up there. He said go to the top of the tram, find like this cross, you hike around a little bit, and there's a vantage point there that's supposed to be unbelievable. It's supposed to be incredible. So definitely plan on doing that. And once I get back from there, he said there's a bunch of awesome seafood restaurants in town. There's like one called Tracy's Seafood Shack or so. I don't really know what it is, but he said their king crab's amazing. Like they catch the king crab here fresh, so they never even have to freeze it. A lot of the times you can get same day caught king crab, which is amazing. He said the halibut here is also amazing. Like they don't really have too much beef. They just all have the fish sandwiches, like the halibut sandwich. So go back there, and finally after dinner, he said Red Dog Saloon is like this like famous kind of like sawdust floored saloon door kind of place, like old like frontier type of bar. Like so that everyone who I know who's been to Juneau has told me to check that place out, and well, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, well, I will add those clips to this video and enjoy this vlog. Day 4, part 2, Juneau. Unlike Ketchikan, Juneau is actually connected to the main landmass of Alaska, though seaplane is still a very popular mode of transportation. Around the port area, you'll constantly hear the buzz of the seaplane's propellers as they take off or land. Finally get off of the Discovery and realize, yep, there's a bunch of ships in port today. First thing I do is head over to the Red Dog Saloon and grab a pint before heading to the glacier. I believe I go for their like Red Dog Ale or whatnot. Kind of reminded me of Newcastle. Walked around the port area a little bit. I saw that Tracy's Crab Shack and saw them cooking up some king crab. I'll be back here later for dinner. There's a line for the tram to get up to the top of this point here, which I probably have to do at some point, but I'll wait till later. Alaskan Brewing Company Public House. Alright, so it's like almost 1 p.m. now. Trying to figure out what to do. There's a line for the tram. There's a line for the crab place. And I got into the Red Dog Saloon, but we will see. I'm going to try to go to that Mendenhall Glacier. It's about 15 minutes from here. Check this out. It's kind of nerve-wracking. And there's no guardrail. My parents ended up taking a taxi or a transport over to Mendenhall Glacier alone, so I ended up taking a lift by myself. It ended up being a pretty cool ride, very scenic, and I got a really cool driver. Yeah, it's about a 15-minute lift ride from the downtown port area at Juneau over to the entrance of the Mendenhall Glacier Park. It's usually a $5 pass to get in. If you book a tour, sometimes they include that as part of the excursion, but they have self-service booth at the park.
That's about 1.5 miles away from the visitor center.
Yeah.
And it stretches 13 miles behind the mountains, and it's connected to the other 2 glaciers that we have.
Wow.
13 miles long.
Jeez.
It's actually 13 miles long from downtown to drive up to here. So you can imagine it's 13 miles long behind the mountains.
Yeah, I had to check this glacier out, yeah. Alright guys, there it is. We are at the Mendenhall Glacier. This is about, Mendenhall Glacier is 13 miles from downtown Juneau. The Mendenhall Glacier is 13 miles long. Yeah, it basically spills out between these 2 mountains, and yeah, it runs for a 13-mile stretch, filling the valley between the mountains. And as those glaciers move, they carve their ways through these valleys. Like earlier, if you saw the Endicott Arm fjords, these glaciers basically scrape those rock walls clean. And these walls, these fjords, have pretty intensely sharp, they're pretty fucking deep. Like in the Rockies, I don't see anything like this. But yeah, very nice. You see those icebergs out there. My Lyft driver was giving me some basic facts, like told me the population at Juneau, 32,000. The biggest employers, the local state government, and yeah, he actually is a state employee who just moonlights as a Lyft driver. But cool indeed. And this park, I wasn't really too sure how close I was going to be able to get. I mean, we're still pretty far. And I was telling me, like, this glacier has been receding, you know, like a mile or 2 every 500 or so years or something like that. So, I mean, don't worry, we still got a couple 1,000 years, how long this thing originally was. But yeah, 13 miles currently, and it has receded, I don't know, for the last 500 years, like what do you say, like a mile or 2, something like that. But pretty cool environment here. Definitely worth checking out if you're in Juneau. All right, let's go in the visitor center.
Beautiful. Yeah. Can you feel the water? Tell me how. Is it 30?
How to break your ankle. Woo. Oh, this is like Valley of Fire. If you've seen that vlog. Climbing all over these rocks. All right, took the path to see the, what do you call it? Mendenhall Glacier. And going over to the falls now. There's a 2-mile hike over to the falls. It's about, they were saying about 45-minute hike. So going over here, it's a nice scenic path through here. Takes you right to the base of the waterfall. Bears frequently use our trails. A 2-mile winding path here, but it takes you right down to the base of the waterfall. You can see the silty water there. That's the rock flour, which is sediment that comes off when the glaciers were passing through here, and scrapes off the rock walls, builds up in the snow. When the glaciers melt, that silty stuff gets in the water. And we're over here at the, I believe it's the Nugget Falls. We get pretty close. It's the first time I've gone on a hike in a little bit. Besides over at the Lake St. Clair Metro Park, Michigan last week. Found a little side path up here, but leads to nowhere. At least I think it leads to nowhere. They got ticks out here? Probably. I don't think this goes anywhere. Like, check out how close you can get to these falls here. And you can't really see the glacier here, but there's some pretty wild falls right here, man. I'm gonna be right up there. All right. This is a second vantage point of the falls here. See them right over in this corner. Our view of the Mendenhall Glacier is kind of blocked from here, but yeah, this hike was for the falls, so yeah, I'm probably going to try to get up as close as I can get without getting wet or slipping on a moss-covered rock, but we'll see what happens. Check out these rocks. Broken down. Holy cow. So the waterfall flow is pretty intense today. You can tell because it's a really nice day here for especially for late August in Alaska. Because of the clarity and the high temperature, snow at the top of the mountains is melting and causing the flow in the waterfall to be like exponentially greater than normal. So pretty fucking cool. Pretty crazy waterfall, huh? The flow of the waterfall is actually a lot higher than usual because it's a very clear day with, like, usually, like I was saying before, in Alaska they don't get too many sunny days like this. Like check out the sunlight. Like, they're saying it's usually partly cloudy at best, and rains frequently, especially in August. It's like the rainy season for Alaska, but we're getting really fortunate. It was clear yesterday, it's clear today, it's very warm today. And the heat and the sunlight, all these mountaintops are snow covered, so it melts down the snow, turns into water, gets washed down here, and yeah, really, that flow is pretty extreme. It was definitely worth worthwhile hike to check out this waterfall here. Highly recommend it. And I've never even seen anything like this before up close. Look at this, pretty sick setup. Pretty cool over here, pretty cool. Here's the waterfall over here. They got the top of the glacier. And get some little icebergs over here floating around. Look at these daredevils over here. This is extremely steep. This guy's got a skid up here. It's a pretty crazy video, man. It's so steep. Hey, check this out. You got all this snow water coming down out of the mountains. Freshly melted snow water. That's why the volume's up here. So all this clear, fresh water comes into this area, and you see the silty area of the glacier, the little pond here. So you can see where the fresh water is mixing with the silty water of with the rock flour. So that's pretty cool. You can clearly see the silhouette of the dark blue aquamarine to the more like beige color of the rock flower. Pretty cool. And then you got the glacier over here. It's not the best view, but it's something. This is a really beautiful hike here over at, what do you call this place? The visitor center for the Mendenhall Glacier. So it's like maybe like a mile and a half, 2 mile hike maximum to get over here to the landing of the waterfall. Decent viewpoint of the top of the glacier. You're really gonna get a better viewpoint of the glacier from some of the other spots, but just coming down here, seeing that roaring waterfall up in your face, seeing that clear mountain water mixing with this silty lake water, like pretty interesting. Get a splash of that water in your face. It's noticeably colder down there. Very interesting. I would definitely recommend if you come here, do this hike. All right, let's hike back. Kind of cool little waterfall over here, but I'm not really sure how these icebergs get down into the middle of this lake here. I mean, they must break off from the Mendenhall Glacier and float down here, and yeah. Finally got a shot with no tourists. Check out these. This is a salmon spawning area.
A salmon run is when the adult salmon return from the ocean, where they live most of their lives, and swim upstream to the freshwater streams and rivers to spawn on the gravel beds of the small creeks.
They're everywhere. These big ass red salmon. The ones yesterday were different color. Oh, these are the salmon with like the beak on them, you know? Coho. Oh, a bear took a bite out of that one.
After spawning, the salmon die and the salmon life cycle starts over again with the new generation of hatchlings, which eventually themselves return to the ocean to feed and grow to the full adult size.
Anything down there?
No, there's nothing in there.
There's a salmon.
There's no salmon in here. It's just great scenery even on the right.
As we arrive back down to downtown Juneau area, you can see the Discovery Princess coming into view there, and you can really see how steep that hill is. You can see that at the top of that hill, there is the connector for the tram, and a cable car runs from the port area all the way up to the top there. Yeah, there's another ship there. I believe that's a Royal Caribbean ship. Pretty sure. Right, waiting through this line, about 20-30 minute line. We'll get this king crab. I haven't had king crab in probably like over a year or something. It's been a while. I think the last time I had it was at that seafood restaurant in Vegas. This place is supposed to be the best. Fresh, never frozen. This is where the king crab comes from.
We will enjoy it.
Got our king crab, got our crab bisque, and some butter and some rolls. Oh, they got like a musician over here live music. Started the day here to close this place down here. Gotta be back on the boat in like 40 minutes or something. Alright guys, I ordered this one. Buck part.
I like beer.
Alright guys, bottoms up.
I love beer.
Not bad, that was the duck part shot, guys, the Red Dog Saloon. But yeah, I went to Red Dog again. I started the day there, ended the day there. Bought some nice shot glasses there, and going to get back on this boat. I had the king crab over at Tracy's. Not bad. Figure, I rarely eat king crab anyway. It costs like $100 even if you go to fucking Red Lobster, so might as well go to some good place here, right? All right,
here is the Discovery Princess. It's time to board and leave Juneau and head to Skagway. It's got no safety rail. I mean, it's probably only like 10, 15, maybe like 10, 12 feet, so. Is it just me, or is like the lighting and composition of this video shot extremely good? The contrast of the mountain there and the sunset, the ship and the light going through those pylons of the pier. I thought we were sailing out of Juneau, but I guess the ship's not really moving. This is the smoking section over here on deck 17 aft. This is the very rear of the ship. Maybe we are moving just really slowly. But got a sick view of the sunset through the valley.